So now that we have our ball working, and I'll reload that to show you. So I want to just reload the software. I'll hit the play button. In a moment, the device will reboot. And now the ball is on the screen. Now, ball works pretty well if I move back and forth, up and down. But if I go too far, the ball will roll all the way off the screen, and then I can find it again. But if it goes way too far, it's going to be impossible to find because it goes off for infinity. So we need to sort of bound the ball to the ends of the desktop, the ends of the screen. Also, I now have a screen display, so that should make it easier to see what I'm doing. So now let's take and keep the ball from edging the screen. So we're going to need an if statement to keep track of where the ball is. So before we change this ball's position, we're going to check to see where the ball is. So we're going to go logic, if, and wrap this in an if do. And we're going to do the x first, and then we'll do the same thing for y. So we're going to check where the ball is. So if the ball, if logic, we're going to do, we need the greater than block. So we're going to the equals block. We're going to go to variables. Ball x is greater than we'll do, looks like the ball touched the screen at 12. So math 12. And we're going to add another logic. We're using an and statement. So if the ball is between one value, and then I'm going to duplicate this inner block, and less than, I'm just bring the ball over to the edge where it just barely touches the screen. And that looks like it is 122. We'll move. So if it's less than 12 and greater than 120, we'll remove that location. Let's see if that works. So now if I move the ball over, it touches the edge of the screen. Unfortunately, once it touches the edge of the screen, it stops. So we need to be a little more careful about our thing. Because once I hit the edge of the screen, I get past outside this range, and now my ball can't move. So let's take and make this a little more careful by checking to see. Let's bounce it back into the view. So we're going to take and do an if else. So we're going to switch this from if do to if do else. Nope, not try except. We want if do else. And I'm going to migrate the statements into there, and then I can get rid of this if do block. And this is why I'm doing this all in one direction first, and then I'll take care of the second direction later. So if I get inside of here, we're going to duplicate this, and we're just going to change it by positive 10. We're basically going to shoot it back the wrong way. I'll reload the code. I'll know it reload when the ball enters the center of the screen. It failed to load. There it goes. Oh, now it runs off the edge of the screen. So, no, we're going to take a much more advanced solution to the problem. It's important to see that there's not your first guesses are not always going to be the right ones, and that's fine. So instead, if we're at that edge, let's see which edge we're on, and then put ourselves just inside that. So I'm going to do if do. I'm going to just check the first half of the statement. Nope. So if we're this half of the thing, if we are less than or equal to 12, we're going to set ball x to 12. And I'm going to duplicate this code. I'm going to drag down so I can see what I'm doing. So we're going to make this the if we is greater equal than 122. we're going to set it to 122. So if I hit the edge of the screen, basically put myself back at the edge of the screen. So let's test and load this code again. Oh, and we have this set wrong. So X, X. So it's an easy error to make. These are set to ball Y, and that would, so the ball there. So I can now roll to the edge of the screen. It's still getting kind of stuck. So I'm going to bring this inside that bound a little bit by bringing that a little bit higher and bring this one a little bit lower. That way, if we should be outside the edge of the screen immediately. So now my ball hits the edge of the screen and it stops. It sort of bounces when it's the edge, but the concept works really nicely. So let's take this entire block, duplicate this entire gigantic mess, except we need to change this here to this one over here. And we're going to check Y, 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 Y. Scroll down so I can see what I'm doing. Y, and Y. Oh, and Y, one more. So I'm going to right click, clean up my blocks just to make sure there's nothing hiding, causing troubles. There's this guy, I'm going to get rid of him. And now we need to find the Y thing. So the top of the thing is about 12, that's good. And the bottom is going to be 227, looks like. 227, 227, 226. And now once it loads the code, the ball bounces around the screen. So now we have a basic little ball game.